And honestly, it's just so frustrating that this is the world that we're living in, and that it's really hard. So I just found a poem that I wrote my senior year of college. That was 2016, fall 2016. So I guess almost exactly 4 years ago, because I mean the fall is coming up. So almost exactly 4 years ago, and I really want to share with you guys. So I'm gonna take some time to read it later because it's very relevant to what's happening right now. Sirens. Bright blue and red sirens flashing by. Feelings of security, safety engulf you, but not me. Sweat drips down, my face heats up, I'm shaking. Blue and red flashes by. Pictures of my brothers and sisters drowning in melanin. Lives taken by the symbol of safety. Gone. Why is he stopping me? Am I next? Should I drive off while I still can? No longer alive to see the beauty of a daughter becoming a woman, embracing her. Melanin. The beauty of a community, fighting together, fighting for freedom. Together we stood, united, fists in the air, our shouts echo in my head. Oppressed, distressed, fix the system. No one heard us. Shouts drowned out by our melanin. No one hears us. Harsh lights blinding me. A shadow approaches. It's dark, but I see him. Hear his footsteps over my heavy breathing. Just me, him, and the lights. Why is my heart pounding so fast? Why am I so afraid? Afraid of the one who's supposed to keep me safe. Am I being irrational? My mom's words echoed in my head. Whatever you do, don't run. Show them your hands at all times. Be respectful. Calm. The lights shining bright, blue and red. Remain calm. You're safe. Hey all, hope you're having a lovely week despite the current state of our nation. That poem that I wrote in 2016, I wanted to share it with you all because it is still relevant today. It was relevant then and it's still relevant today, and that is very infuriating because it shows that nothing in our world has changed. Black lives still don't matter, and they haven't mattered ever in this country. So I wrote something, so if you see me reading, that is why. I don't want to go off on a rant, and I just want to be succinct and to the point. So if you see me reading, that is why. So our country has always seen Black lives as less than. The system has been set up against Black lives since the foundation of our country, and everything in history has led up to this moment. So a question that we ask ourselves often is, how could they tolerate racism, segregation, lynchings? How could they tolerate that? But then we have to sit back and ask ourselves, how can we tolerate mass incarceration or police brutality against Black bodies? How do we tolerate that? If you think we've made progress, I want you to just think again. Our system has always found different ways to oppress the Black community. In this country, when it comes to this new Black Lives Matter movement, there has been no real progress. The book Chokehold by Paul Butler explains it better than I can, so I'm going to read a few quotes from the introduction. After the civil rights movement of the 1960s stigmatized overt racism, the national economy, which from the founding has been premised on a radicalized form of capitalism, still required Black bodies to exploit. The chokehold evolved as a colorblind method of keeping African Americans down and then blaming them for their own degradation. Police violence and selective enforcement are not so much flaws in American criminal justice as they are integral features of it. The chokehold is why, legally speaking, Black lives don't matter as much as white lives. And the last one. Throughout the existence of America, there have always been legal ways to keep Black lives down. Slavery bled into the old Jim Crow. The old Jim Crow bled into the new Jim Crow, and the new Jim Crow is our system of mass incarceration. Those quotes just show that Black lives don't matter. And if you're someone who thinks that all lives matter, I recommend you look up why that is tone deaf. I recommend reading this book if you're trying to learn more about systematic racism in our country. All that to say that right now is not the time to claim that you're not racist. It's a time to be actively anti-racist, and there are a number of different ways to do so. In the description box, I'm going to include a few different resources where it'll lead you to a bunch of different links in ways in which you can take action. And I want you to know that protesting is not the only way that you can take action and fight for the liberation of Black lives. You can do a lot of things. You can sign petitions, donate money, educate yourself, have difficult conversations with family members, educate them on what you educated yourself on, call people out on their overt or covert racism, and use your platform, no matter how small it is. Those 10 followers that you have and you share what you learned on Black Lives Matter, on systematic racism, someone is bound to be impacted, or maybe all 10 of them will be impacted, and then they will start to share. It'll be like a ripple effect. You can impact a bunch of different people that you don't even know. So please just keep using your voice. And just because the cops involved in George Floyd's death were charged doesn't mean that we've won or that this movement is over or that our work is done. It's not. It's only just beginning. We're cutting trees in the background. Our work is only just beginning. The system has to change. We have to dismantle this racist system that is built against Black lives, transform it into one where Black lives do matter, where we can then say that all lives matter, but right now they don't. Finally, I just want to tell you guys to please take time to take care of yourself. We can't make progress if we're drained. Disconnect when you have to. Talk to someone. You don't have to be posting 24/7. While you're taking care of yourself, there will be a number of other different people using their voice and taking action. So take a break when you need to, meditate, pray, take a bath, read a book that's not about systematic racism, read a book for fun, laugh. This is so important right now because we need you in this movement. We need all of us. All of us together, we can make a change. So just please take care of yourself because this work is draining and it is hard. They're just reiterating the fact that our system is not broken. We think it's broken because for us Black people, it doesn't work in our favor. But that was the point of the system. It wasn't meant to work in our favor. They talked about the 13th Amendment and how there was that loophole. No one can be a slave except for criminals. Well, if you look at our prison system, most of the prisoners are Black men. So that's when the criminalization of the black man and the construction of the thug, which they talk about in the book The Chokehold, came about, it came to be. So here he says, the chokehold's construction of the black man as a thug didn't come out of nowhere. The association of African American men with criminality was calculated as a way to preserve white privilege after slavery ended.
Wait, is it musical break?
Yeah. Say hi.
Hi.
They can't see you.
Hi.
And that is all I wanted to say. Black Lives Matter. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and continue to be actively anti-racist. Bye.